Good evening and welcome to KiniNews. Here are today's top stories. What is going on in Johor DAP? A state central committee member has just accused their own leader of lobbying for a position. Johor DAP Central Committee member Dr Boo Cheng Hau has accused State DAP Chief Liew Chin Tong of lobbying the Johor Legislative Assembly to appoint him as a member of the Dewan Negara. Boo alleged that Liew was doing so without the knowledge of the Johor DAP leadership. In a statement, Boo claimed that Liew's alleged plot began in early August, whereby Liew had, quote, misled the Johor Pakatan Harapan Council. When contacted, Liew said he reserved comment for now. After the 2018 general election, Liew was made a Deputy Finance Minister. As he was not a Member of Parliament, he was made a Senator first. That term expired in the middle of this year. Each state assembly can appoint 2 members to the Dewan Negara. At the time of recording, there is 1 vacancy for Johor. There are currently 54 Dewan Negara members, of which 4 are in the opposition. These 4 opposition members all belong to Harapan, who are in a Confidence and Supply Agreement or CSA with Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob. Pressure is mounting on the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission as more elected representatives push for an investigation to be initiated against Azam Baki. 2 members of the Parliamentary Special Select Committee for Agencies under the Prime Minister's Department have called for the body to investigate the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Chief Commissioner Azam Baki. In a joint statement, Kota Melaka MP Khoo Pui Tiong and Kota Kinabalu MP Chan Foong Hin said the committee should convene a meeting and summon Azam to testify before them. Recently, allegations have surfaced that Azam owned close to 2 million shares in a publicly listed company. It was also alleged that he failed to disclose it to the government. Khoo and Chan said they have brought up the suggestion to call Azam for questioning to all other members of the PSC, including its chairperson Abdul Latif Abdul Rahman. Earlier this week, Edmund Terence Gomez had tendered his resignation from the panel, claiming that chairperson Borhan Dollah did not respond to his requests for the panel to convene a meeting about allegations against Azam. Malaysia Kini has contacted Azam for comment. Thousands of people die on Malaysian roads every year, so you would think that people would actually take road safety seriously. However, that does not include the people you're about to see. Police detained a local woman after a video went viral showing 3 children acting dangerously in a moving vehicle. Kajang District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Zaid Hassan said the 34-year-old woman, believed to be the driver, had 3 children in the Perdua Alza vehicle who were seen perched on the windows. He said in a statement today the act was dangerous behavior and could lead to accidents, endangering their safety as well as the safety of other road users. He also urged the public to ensure children's safety, adding that they should be monitored by adults. Muhammad Zaid said the case was being investigated under Section 336 of the Penal Code for endangering the lives or safety of others. If convicted, offenders could be sentenced to a maximum prison sentence of 3 months or a maximum fine of 500 ringgit or both. This week, several opposition MPs have called on the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate plans to develop flood retention ponds in Kuala Lumpur. However, according to a minister, those lawmakers don't seem to have their facts straight. Federal Territories Minister Shahidan Kasim has slammed several opposition MPs over claims that several flood retention ponds in Kuala Lumpur were alienated for development. Speaking to reporters while visiting flood victims yesterday, Shahidan claimed that the MPs had gotten their facts wrong and asked them to check their information before making such allegations. According to the minister, approvals to develop the land plots given between 2015 and last year were not by the then Federal Territories ministers or mayors. He said most of the land plots in the Federal Territories are owned by the Department of the Director General of Lands and Mines, which is a federal government agency under the Energy and Natural Resources Ministry. Yesterday, Fahmi issued a statement demanding that Shahidan and former Federal Territories Ministers Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor and Anwar Musa reveal who was responsible for changing the plan for 6 land plots in Kuala Lumpur. He referred to a 2019 Auditor General's report which listed out the date when the 6 ponds were approved for development and which companies they went to. We now have a message for our sponsor. In the meantime, let us know what you can do with 500 ringgit right down there in the comment section.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Welcome back. So what can you do with 500 ringgit? That's actually how much the government is offering to flood victims to buy electronics. Households affected by the floods will be given 500 ringgit rebate to buy electrical goods. Energy and Natural Resources Minister Taqiyuddin Hassan said the rebate will be provided under the Sustainability Achieved via Energy Efficiency or SAVE program starting the 7th of January. This is following the announcement by Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob on the provision of 500 ringgit of vouchers to flood victims for the purchase of electrical goods at selected premises or e-commerce platforms. Speaking at a press conference in Putrajaya today, Taqiyuddin said eligible individuals could make purchases of electrical goods physically at premises registered under SAVE and e-commerce platforms, namely Lazada, Shopee and PG Mall. Data so far shows that there are about 80,000 eligible households. SAVE is an e-rebate program for households who purchase electrical goods. Previously, SAVE 2.0 offered an e-rebate of 200 ringgit to households that purchase energy-efficient air conditioners or refrigerators. The recent floods have brought about new fears surrounding the Linna's permanent disposal facility, and Pahang PKR wants the plan to be scrapped. The Environment Department has been urged to rescind its approval for the construction of the Linna's Permanent Disposal Facility or PDF in Kuantan. Semambu PKR Coordinator Chan Chun Kwang and Indira Makota PKR Parliamentary Affairs Manager Zuraidi Ismail laid out various concerns over the PDF, including its susceptibility to future flooding. The Pahang PKR leaders said the Gebeng Industrial Estate is in a low-lying area and has a high water table. They also said that they were concerned that global climate change in the future will cause these areas to be prone to floods and submersion. They added that the PDF was located too close to residential areas. The DOE approved the Environmental Impact Assessment for the PDF on the 28th of December. The project's EIA report stated that the PDF project would not pose a flood risk or lead to pollution of underground water and Sungai Balok unless the worst-case scenario happens, for instance, a quote, extreme rain event. A PAS leader is not happy with Selangor's decision to ban politicians from teaching Islam beginning next year. PAS leader Ahmad Dusuki Abdul Rani has viewed the Selangor Islamic Council's decision to revoke teaching accreditation to those politically active as divisive. The member of the PAS Central Leadership said the decision is something that would only further widen the gap among Muslims, besides making the enemies of Islam, quote, to rejoice. Dusuki, who was accredited by MAIS to preach on Islam in Selangor, was responding to the Islamic body's announcement yesterday that it is revoking accreditation for teaching on Islam to all political activists effective the 1st of January next year. MAIS chairperson Abdul Aziz Muhammad Yusof said that the decision was in line with the decree of the Selangor Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, barring Islam from being politicized and used as a political tool, especially in mosques and surau. Meanwhile, Dusuki also said that MAIS should focus on enlivening the houses of worship to attract more Muslims to these places so that they would not go astray. According to him, MAIS should also teach Muslims in Selangor about politics that is based on Islamic teachings. That's a wrap for Kini News this evening. For more stories, go on over to KiniTV.com. Don't forget to follow us on our social media on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook to get the latest news headlines. If you want to support the independent media, please do consider a subscription to MalaysiaKini.com. If you're heading out, please don't forget your mask. When you can, still do try to stay home. We're almost at 2022, but we're still quite a while to go before we finally beat this pandemic. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, Malaysia.
Everyone wants to see these scenes bigger. That's why we've got bigger TVs, for everyone to enjoy them bigger. Watch colors come to life on a large screen. LG NanoCell.